I never thought that I was going to be a founder of a CPG wellness brand, but here I am. And this is the behind the scenes founder is a human episode. I'm your host, Dr. Neeta. And honestly, this is personal and vulnerable and real and raw and showing not just the mama, but honestly, the human. And I can see where a lot of founders get stuck in the process of making a business. And so I know for so many of you, you've been asking. And so here's the full story behind Chai Tonics. Here's why I started Chai. I mean, I'm talking about the real story and why I built this Ayurvedic ritual brand. Now, the moment it all started, let's go back. It started with me crying on the kitchen floor. Ari was crying too. My inbox was exploding. And I was honestly so burnt out in a way that no matcha, no green juice with kale, or 4-minute or 40-minute meditation could fix. I remember thinking, how in the world did I get here? I was doing all the right things, you know, thinking of journaling and hiking and walking but honestly, I felt like a ghost in my own body. And what I really needed was to come back home to myself. I had so much guilt and so much shame for not for preaching just a year before about all of my self-care rituals and how self-care was amazing. And now I have this new beautiful baby boy in my arms. But honestly, I was just like, I was not me. I was not in my body. But what I really needed was to come back home to myself. And all I could think about was, what is the thing that helps ground me? What is the thing that helps keep me calm? What is the thing that I can actually do right now? That small step, that small little step, not the full meditation, not the screaming and crying and all of the things I talk about in my books. What is that simple act that you can do for yourself? I know, ladies, it is that easy. I promise you it is. And somehow, for me, it started with that cup of chai. And so, listen, I grew up drinking chai with my dad and with my bua, my dad's sister, and honestly, going back to India year after year. Literally, it became something that we would do as a family with all of our cousins, with our uncles and aunties, and all of the elders. That's essentially what we would do. Later on, I would grow up because my dad introduced it to the Filipino side of my family. So I would drink it with my mom and my lolas, and everyone knew how to make it. And it was never just a drink, it was a ritual, it was a love language. It was honestly that sacred pause, the nostalgia of being such a powerful way to slow down. And honestly, Chai Tonics was born from that remembering. It was almost this returning to ancient Ayurvedic wisdom because a lot of the herbs in chai, if we go back to the roots, this has been a 5,000-year-old practice, this devotion to crushing the herbs and whatever herbs. Everyone likes their chai differently, but in our home, it was always ginger. It was always cinnamon. My dad liked it with black pepper. My mom liked it with fennel and cloves, and you would steep it so long that you would smell the aroma, and the aroma would literally remove and melt away any stress in your body. And it was like this deep sense of, okay, I'm safe, I'm here, I'm present. I'm safe, I'm here, I'm present. And it was a deep desire for me to help women like me, ambitious yet overwhelmed, constantly giving, and to finally give back to themselves. Because honestly, this sense of home that I craved because I had lost my parents early on, this was the sense of nostalgia that my dad actually rooted in us, myself, my brothers. And so I wanted to really be able to not only that be my lifeline of coming back to myself, but also when I expanded our family and we had our daughter, and my son was 2.5, and we were moving cross country from California into Texas. It was around COVID time. And again, the throes of chaos, crazy, what brought me back to center. And what brought me back to center wasn't jogging, wasn't walking, wasn't taking them to the park, wasn't any of those things. It was a simple acts of crushing those herbs, making that chai, and bringing me back to the aroma that I remembered, that I smelled, that I inhaled, that sense of calm, that sense of presence that allowed me to actually pour back into my cup with every cup and then pouring into my family. So, tuning into what my body was asking for, what emerged were adaptogenic chai blends crafted for modern life. And it was rooted in my heritage, it was infused with intention, it was created for healing. Now, here's the messy middle, what no one sees. And I'll be so real with you. Building Chai Tonics hasn't been glamorous, honestly. There were so many moments where I doubted myself. I wrote, my book in the process, That Sucked Now What? How to Embrace the Joy and Chaos and Find Magic in the Mess. And literally, my daughter was really young, but I knew I was already pouring and blending these adaptogens, putting superfoods in it, really trying to understand why I loved certain things and why I didn't, and how when people would come over, I was making them cups and cups of chai, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm loving this. I'm so much more focused. I don't need to have coffee anymore. You healed my addiction with coffee. I'll have chai over and over again. Can you make it vegan? Can you make it, with unrefined sugars? Then the decision came to create this into a company to support people in making instant chai blends. Do you know how hard making an instant chai blend is? I cried over packaging delays. I cried over packaging typos. I questioned the timing. I fired formulators. We moved across the world and realized what was the constant? Oh, my chai, bringing me back to myself. So many moms reaching out. What is your best nervous system hack? What's your best nervous system hack? I have all of your ritual guides. I have your kits. I have your courses. But what is that hack for yourself? And every time it would come back to, well, I have my morning chai blend, which is my Focus Flow chai, and I have an afternoon blend, which I use with rose and shatavari, because it balances our hormones as women, especially if you have PCOS or especially if you have endometriosis. Shatavari is that herb to support our hormone even in postpartum. And the one thought that I had in my head over and over and over and over again, why would anybody care? But honestly, then the messages started rolling in. Your chai helped me with my anxiety. I finally feel like me again. The lion's mane in the Focus Flow chai really helped me going. The saffron in your Focus Flow chai, oh my gosh, it's helping me with my mood and my ADHD as a mama. I haven't left my keys in the fridge. I can reclaim my ritual in my morning and I feel amazing with it. And it tastes so good and it's easy. I don't know how to make chai, but I don't want the Starbucks chai. I want this chai. And all I have to do is just add water? What? I can take this anywhere? And in those moments, I remembered why I had to just keep on going because this isn't just any product. It's a portal, it's permission. It's permission for every woman to be able to come back to herself. And yes, your partners can have it too. But this is your daily act of remembering your own magic. This isn't really about tea. It's not about chai. It's about you. It's about you reclaiming your energy. It's about you reclaiming your ritual. What feels good for you? What helps you reset your nervous system? What helps you connect back with your soul? Chai Tonics is that reminder for that woman who's holding everything, her schedule, the emails, the emotions, the meals, and is finally ready to just take 10 minutes to hold herself. 10 minutes in her day, 15 minutes in her day to come back home to ritual, to choose a moment of stillness, to choose a moment of nourishment or softness over hustle, even if it's in that 15 minutes, to choose presence instead of overdoing, overgiving, and running from an empty cup. So if you've been craving a daily pause, a simple ritual that is soul nourishing, that actually supports your nervous system, Chai Tonics is officially here. And now you can get your ritual starter kit. This is your invitation to slow down and come home to yourself one sip at a time, because you've been listeners and watchers of this podcast for many, many years. Even if you've just landed here, I want to give you a gift. Now you can use code BRAVE at checkout to grab a 1-month supply of Chai Tonics. This is in our ritual starter kit, and you can get 15% off just by using the code BRAVE when you go to neetabhushan.com/ritual. Whether you need focus, calm, or deep nourishment, there is a blend for you. Now, if you're sitting on a dream right now, if you're wondering if it's too late or messy or too much, this is just your sign to begin. I almost put this project aside more times than I can count. And every single time I put it aside, I literally kept getting nudges of what's bringing me back whole. Because honestly, the rituals in your day matter. The time that you can spend with the uncomfortableness of where you are at, to sit with those messy, yucky feelings matter. Your healing matters, and the world needs what only you can pour into. So thank you so much for being here, for believing in slow living, for showing up for yourself. And I cannot wait for you to sip your first cup. Welcome to Chai Tonics. Tell me in the comments, what does it mean to you right now to have ritual in your life? Click on the link below and explore our ritual kit, neetabhushan.com/ritual. And you will also get your free 12-month Sip and Soothe ritual guide. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time. You know I've got so much more in store for you. So if you are really ready to dive in and keep owning your emotions like the boss that you are, click right here. Go ahead, don't be shy. I'll see you in the next one. Keep shining.